Hello, hello. Welcome back. You might notice there's some little differences here in Blender. If you look closely, you'll see a bunch of them. But there's all sorts of little new stuff. For anybody who's in the Discord, you'll know that I took yesterday off for some health reasons. And I decided to use that time productively. I didn't really want to be on camera. I just had a lot going on. So I decided to just use that time effectively. And the main thing I did is I made some little assets. So I've done this. I'll show you one more. I now have a, what is it called? A matte lib or something? A matte cap. I have a matte cap on here now, so I should be able to see angles a little bit better. We're doing pretty good. So anyway, that's a little update for you. Just doing some behind-the-scenes Blender stuff, trying to always up my game. I feel like I kind of coasted out for a little bit, felt like I plateaued a little bit, so time to push ourselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some music. Mind my throat. I'm gonna be kind of clearing my throat for a little while, I think. But let's go for it. So let's go ahead and turn this down, and we're gonna ask ourselves, what are we doing today? Well, that's easy. We're gonna make a cave. I'm feeling better, yeah. Just, you know, had kind of a rough weekend. It happens. You know, it happens to all of us. So, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be feeling better. There we go. Let's go ahead and pop this guy up. How are you doing, CQDK? You having a bunch of weird dreams, you were saying? Oh, we have a double Pogtato from CQDK, and I'm a Cup of Joe. So you know that this stream is going to go off the hinge. You know what? I'm going to make this really long. I was kind of debating how big I want this scene to be, but we're going to just go for it. And tell you what, we're going to grab our camera, and we're going to move it to -30. Yep, perfect. So you're going to see right into it. If I feel sick, I always get told to work more. Well, that's not very healthy. I don't think I would agree with that mentality. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into this bad boy. So I'm making a cave, but to be a little bit more specific, I have some specific ideas of what I want to be making today. I'm still alive? Well, I mean, I'm still alive too. It doesn't mean that the advice that you were given wasn't a little, off. Just because you're alive doesn't mean that not everybody else is alive, right? Like, I think that's not a good, like, basis for the quality of somebody's life. Okay, so I got a cave. This is definitely not the texture I'm using. I've been using this texture lately to see my angles. So I have this thing set up to determine if things are above or below 90-degree angles. So I have this little gray cap to tell me when something is roughly 90 degrees. Positive, negative. Super good. You're good. I mean, if people are telling you that, then it is what it is, but you know, keep in mind your own health as well. Don't let people tell you too much. That being said, have you looked up Guar? Have you looked up the band Guar since I posted that little comment for you? Because if you haven't, you really need to look up Guar. It looks so much like that piece that you sent in the channel. It's unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on a plane. I'm not talking too much about the process. You did. Doesn't it look exact? Doesn't it look just like that guy? It's like uncanny. That's, wow, how did I do that so perfectly? Look how close that is. So, goal is... Yep, that looks just about right. We'll go ahead and shade it flat. It looks good. It's a cave. So we're doing all sorts of weird stuff to this cave today. The cave is definitely going to be the big guy. it's hard to make something new. I don't think it's possible to make something new. Everything is based on, like, something, even if subconscious. Right? It's very possible that you were inspired by something that somebody else made, that they were inspired by something that somebody else made, that they were inspired, until eventually you go so far down the rabbit hole that it's like, it's all the same. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go into sculpt mode. We're gonna take a nice little sculpt of this guy. And we're gonna do our best to just round all of this bottom part out to make it kind of a flat tunnel. I want this to feel super even all the way across. There we go. Kind of looks like a poke flute. Kind of looks like I'm about to get Snorlax to roll over. Which is great. I'm a big fan of the poke flute. If you asked me at a different point in my life, I would have told you that I was a huge fan of Pokemon. Don't really feel that way anymore, but I do love me some Pokemon. I want to draw something before I leave because I still have school. Where are you right now? What are you doing right now? Where are you that you're watching stream but you still have school? Is it online? That's a little confusing. There we go. We're going to just push all this back. All creative work goes back to some caveman looking at a rock thing that thinks that it looks like a rabbit. I mean, even before that, all creative work goes back to nature. Right? Like, everything is determined by, like, natural order. That's why I have so much trouble with people calling, like, art useless and stuff. It's like, well, animals make art. Like, if we want to be sensible about it, like, everything in the world makes art. Oh, you need to sleep so you're ready for school. Yeah, you're good. Look, you owe me nothing. I want that to be very clear to everybody. Nobody owes me anything. So you do whatever's best for you. That being said, I assume you're asking for ideas for a drawing. I'm trying to think of, like, what would be the most primitive form of art? I'm sure you could make an argument for it. I would say that, like, bacteria is probably not very artistic. I'd be willing to say that, like, bacteria probably doesn't fall into that. You want to see the 30 minutes for a fast drawing? Yeah, I mean, feel free. Let's, what do you got as far as your writing goes? Have you done any of the writing stuff yet? I know you were thinking about that. I'm going to add a little bit more of this, and I'm going to remove topology later. We're going to do our best to get everything looking a little bit more, yeah, like that. So we're going to get it all nice and crunchy. I got ideas. I'm not sure about the writing yet. I mean, do you want to tell us about any of your ideas? Anything that's sticking out that's worth sharing? If you don't, that's totally cool. I get, like, how sensitive writing and stuff can be. So you owe us absolutely nothing. But if you'd like to talk about it, I could probably brainstorm a little bit, try and think of some stuff to give you. Take it from there. Speaking of, like, creativity and all that sort of stuff, I was on a huge creative high this weekend. I was just doing a lot of, like, weird work. You know, I was just trying to, like, put my mind off of, you know, a lot of the stuff that's been going on lately. And did a lot of really interesting creative work. One of the most, like, one of the best creative exercises that I think people can do, and I think everybody should take this into account. The best creative exercise for me is taking pre-existing media, and obviously a good creative exercise is to take pre-existing media and, like, remix it. But specifically, I like to imagine what would happen if I owned blank. So the songs that I played before stream were all from Ape Escape 3. Ape Escape 3, very important game from my childhood. And I've just been thinking a lot about, like, what would I do if I had that series, like, in my pocket? Obviously, it's owned by Sony, So ain't no way that's happening. Sony's like, I don't know. Sony's like Nintendo level of IP like hoarding. Joe wants a waffle cone. That's an interesting one. Okay, so what are we going to put in the waffle cone? Also, used multiple words, so somebody didn't read the new prompt, but I'll accept it. Sensitive? I just sat down and write something and I get told I should be an author? Who told you that? Okay, so I gotta say, this feels like a pretty decent cave to me, but the resolution of it is a little off. School family. I don't know what school family means, but I think people see when people are passionate about something and try to push them towards it. So they probably just have the best of intentions for you. Oh, school and family. Yeah, I mean, I hope this doesn't come across as offensive. I think you're at a very impressionable age, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a slight. That's not me being mean. I think you're at a very impressionable age, and so if people see you doing something that they think you like, they're gonna tell you to do it. They're gonna like advocate for that. So it's good. That's good of them. It means they care about you. Okay, so this is gonna be our cave. We're not gonna dwell too long on the setting because I'm gonna be remaking it a couple of times. But let's go ahead and just call that it. You don't want to be an author? Then don't. They're not gonna force you to be an author, you're fine. I think they're just giving you like they're just like, you know, saying what they think would be best for you. If you don't want to do that, then don't do that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pop all this down. And so what I've done here is I've made myself darkness without using a volume. I thought about using a volume for this, but it's just such a bad idea. Oh, let's not do it that way. I need to pop on a little bit of an HDRI. There we go. So if I go back to this, and I'm gonna pop in a light source here real quick, just so we can see what's going on. So if I pop this little sun forward, right? Here's what we're looking at. I have made an anti-light. I have made a little thing in here that basically cuts all the light. Why is the sun not working? What? Let's go ahead and put that strength to like 10. The sun does not want to work. You know what? I think I know what's going on. I think I need to recalculate normals for the inside of this guy. Let's do that real quick. A little weird. A little weird that it's not like just bright. Isn't that strange? I have a literal sun right here. Why is it not bright? Isn't that really strange? Let's do a point light instead. And I'll go ahead and crank this guy up. There we go. That should be a little bit better. I don't know why a sun doesn't work. I guess suns use different properties than I thought. So again, I'm gonna make this -1 and it's going to make a creeping darkness from here. So now, when we look at it, obviously it's rendering pretty slowly because I have just a few paths on my my render here in viewport. But we've made sort of a volumetric lighting without having to render a volume. You want to map before I start writing? When you mean map, you mean like making geometry? Okay, so I'm going to remove the plane. I'm going to remove the sun. And now we're going to do this. So, simple enough. All I want to do is make some rocks. So we're going to remove our slope splat, which is that little guy. I'm going to call this cave walls. And we're going to pop in here and just get going. So let's go ahead and say, what do we want our cave walls to look like? I think ideally I would like to use probably a Vernoi with object settings. Although I might use UVs. I think that's a terrible idea. But I'm kind of into the idea of using UVs. Also, that looks terrible. That looks much better. Much, much better. Wow. That's it right there. Smooth to F1. We got little rocks. I'm not good enough in English to know how to answer. You know, I've never, like, even noticed that, you know, English was so secondary for you. I think you're pretty good at English. I think you've been talking, like, super well in English. I kind of want the scale of this thing to be a little bit randomized. So I'm going to do my best to make, like, a weird scale. This is going to be outside of my comfort zone, but I think if we nail it, it'll be great. Okay, so we're making just a little bit of normal. So all I'm trying to do is make like a bumpy interior. Yep, that looks good. And I'm realizing that we just don't want Euclidean. We probably want Manhattan. Make it a little bit spikier. Yeah, we're going to smooth it, make sure it's nice and smooth. That should do. Okay, so scale. Let's make scale random. So, scale, first and foremost, I'm going to attempt to use UVs for scale. So not very good. Something that might, I got it. If we use generated for scale versus UVs for scale versus normal, I'm just getting a size comparison because I gotta really, that's gorgeous. That looks so good. Okay, so normal is definitely gonna be one of them. I'm going to go ahead and pop in a mix RGB. We're going to plug normal into one of them, and I'm going to plug another one into a different one. We start having English in 3rd grade, but I will say I really started learning in 5th grade. I mean, you're good at English. You talk and chat just fine. I think if somebody didn't know you, they would think that, you know, you're just a dude. You're just chilling. Okay, so Musgrave definitely ain't it. We're gonna want something to the effect... Checker's gonna be terrible, I bet. Yeah, Checker's really bad. How are we gonna get a good color out of this guy? A noise is probably exactly what we want. A noise... A noise with... Oh, that looks terrible. Why is it so round? I don't want it to be round. Let's try a white noise. This is gonna be chaos. Actually, I said it was gonna be chaos. It's actually pretty good. I'm a potato, not dude. Everyone's a dude. Let's get that out there. Everyone's a dude. We're all dudes. Dude is everybody. Okay, so let's pop on here. And here's what we're gonna do. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh gosh, I ruined it. There we go. So I got myself 2 of these guys. So we got a nice little combination of both of them. I can make one of them way smaller, but what I want to do is I think I want to overlay. I think I might actually multiply. That doesn't look very much like a rock now, does it? The goal is just to make it look a little nutty. Again, I think a noise texture is going to be the one to solve this. And we're going to do like a linear light. This guy is going to have to get way up. The heck? What is happening? Okay, we'll do 1 just to get that a little bit closer looking. I've learned that blue potatoes is real, so now I know I can call myself a blue potato. What does that mean? What is a blue potato? This is proving to be quite a little problem for us. I feel like I should have just done it in an easier way. Like if I just remove the scale, we have this. I suppose theoretically... Hold on. You know what? I've overcomplicated this. As per the norm, I've overcomplicated this. Yep, okay. So instead, let's just find this scale number. So I'm going to want like a 5 in here. I need to find the number 5, which isn't a color. I don't even understand how this is going to work, but this is what we're doing. So I want value 5. Somehow that works. Somehow that works. That's strange. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to give it like no roughness, high detail, scale to like 1. And we're going to divide. Nope, we're going to multiply. It just doesn't look right. You know what? I'm sick of looking at this though. We're gonna put this on the back burner for a little bit. Blue potatoes exist. Did I even spell that right? You did spell it right. I just don't know what you mean by that. Like, okay, a blue potato. Got it. We're cool on the blue potato. What about them existing makes you a blue potato? Are you blue? Is blue your favorite color? Okay, boom, we're in. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and put on an HSV. And I'm going to put on 0.05. Bring it up just a little bit. We're going to want to find ourselves a nice little cave tone. Like that. Like that right there. I mean, that looks like a cave to me. A little bit of red in there is not half bad looking. And then I'll pop on more. I love blue and you know that. Okay, I hope this doesn't come off as a criticism. You tell me a lot of things. My brain can't keep all of it. Okay, so last but not least, we want to add cracks to this thing. Cracks reliably are super tough for me. So I'm going to do my best to, like, remember the process. So what we want is we want to move that add down. We want to put a color ramp up here. And let's get going for it. So I'm going to scale this guy up a lot. We're going to go ahead and make it red and blue because I want to see what I'm doing as best as possible. Yeah, you do say a lot of things. That's good. That's fine. I don't want that to come off as a criticism. I enjoy your company. I think you're very interesting, CQDK. I'm only capable of keeping so much inside my head. So it's a limited space. There's probably no reason to have 2 texture coordinate nodes, but I don't really want to wrangle like all of these things back and forth. So this is how I'm doing this. Sorry for this. And we got cracks. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and put on like a Manhattan. We want our best to turn them into cracks, which is not working. That doesn't look like cracks. Somehow you want them looking something like that, but they're just a little too weird for me. Yeah, they're just not hitting the right way. They need to be, like, spiky. Well, I said spiky, but that's not what I meant. Dare I say that that's alright? I think it's not alright. That's more along the lines of what we want. So if I scale this down, like way down. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. There she is. Okay, cool. So, we're gonna do some chaos, I think. Let's grab a mix RGB, pop you in here. This has been the most elaborate setup I've done at the beginning of a stream. It's only 30 minutes in, too. Holy cow. Feels like my whole life has passed me by. So, we're going to pop that in there. And we're going to use just an add. Is that gonna work? Let's remove this real quick. What are we looking at? You can't really see the first one, can you? If I do mix... Mix might do it, although I think like a divide or a multiply might be the one that we want. I know you were a nice guy and only tells what you think and feel, and I'm fine with that, so I never think you just say things to be mean. Of course. I fundamentally don't believe that being mean is good for anybody. I think... Okay, so, like, in my personal life, I am somebody that is very... I'm very tough-loving to people. I've always been somebody that tells people what they need to hear, even if it's a little hard to hear, and stuff like that. But as far as, like, being just mean, there's no use in being mean. People that are mean always, like, receive that unkindness back to them. Like, it's just useless to feel that way. So I don't pity people that are just cruel for no reason. Okay, so I'm gonna want to bring in some black, like true black, I think. And now we're gonna mix closer to one side than the other, and I might do an add, but I think I don't want to do an add. And ideally, I want to try and get this color right here. Maybe even a little bit on the bluer side. And say, does that look good? That looks good. Looks like a cave to me. It's maybe a little bit glossier than a cave needs to be. I will pop the roughness. You know what? We'll just keep the roughness super high. I'm not going to think too much about it. I meant 0.8, not 0.6. Specular is probably pretty low. We're in a deep, deep, dark cave. Clear coat would be nice if I'm trying to simulate water on the ground, but that's going to be a lot of math, so maybe we'll do that later. Everything else, I think we're good to go. So, cool. Let's pop in our plane. We have a dark plane. That's good. Excellent. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and jump on to the next part. So, we just want to keep everything looking like this. It's going to process this for just a second. There we go. I mean, that looks pretty solid. You look at that. That's a cave. Yeah, the lighting is going to require a bit of effort, but that is a cave. That looks good. I think if anything, I just want to try and round out the bottom of it, maybe make like a tread path. I could probably use a texture paint to fix that, but Using procedural with texture paint is always a little bit of a challenge in my mind. But like, man, look at this. This looks so good. Cool. Okay, so next up. I still don't know what to draw. I've made a monkey, a goat, a chicken, and a purple lizard. Okay, CQDK, I'm gonna give you the greatest advice. I think you should try and draw something that you are not super comfortable making. So I think you should draw something less angular, less gruesome. Because you want a point of contrast, right? It doesn't have to be human, but you want a point of contrast, right? If I said, like, if I made a bunch of things and they were all red, that would look one way. But if I make a bunch of blue and then one thing's red, that one red thing is going to stick out a lot. It's going to look very cool. And I think you need to work on some contrast. So try and make something outside of your style. That's my assignment for you. That's my prompt. Simo! Long time no see. Where you been, bud? I've missed you. Okay, so I can go in two different directions right now. Direction number one is I can make a glowing eyeball. Or number two is I can make a spear. I think I'm gonna make the spear first. Let's make a spear right now. I made a spear over the weekend. I can make a spear right now. So let's go for it. We're going to call this cave. We're going to call this darkness. That light is going to be deleted soon enough, so I'm not going to think about it. And let's make ourselves a spear. Okay. So just a nice little spear. A cup of tea? No, make like a character. Make like a cow. I know Joe would love a cow. Make like a cow, make like a chicken, make a bird, make a sheep, make a fish. Try and draw something super, like, as real as you can get it, but also relatively cute or tame looking. Oh no, birds. It doesn't have to be a bird, it can be whatever you want. But I think you should go for it. You're gonna be better for it. Okay, so we got ourselves a spear. I try not to think too much about the geometry of spears, because I know if I think about it too much, I'm going to make, like, the craziest shape you've ever seen. There's just no use in that. So, let's go ahead and make ourselves a spearhead. My weakness, wings and humans. You make wings all the time. You add wings to your stuff all the time. What are you talking about? Mainly hands. I mean, everybody struggles with hands, that's for sure. Okay, so what does a spear look like? I'm going to do a typical leaf spear. Spears normally look like... Let's see here. I'm going to do my best not to subsurface this, but I kind of think a subsurface is going to make it look great, so it'll be the last step we do if we end up doing it. We can remove some proportion for this time being. That's probably just about as long as we need it to go, and let's get going. So let's pop on like a 10. And we're going to want... You know what? Let's do... I'm going to go crazy. Let's go 20, and then I'm going to remove geometry later. Because I think starting strong is going to be a little bit better for us. Hands are pretty easy once you've done a couple of gesture drawings of them. I think I can get a lot better at wings, and I never really like them. I mean, you do whatever you like. I think you should try and make something out of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be anything I've said, but try and make something way out of your comfort zone. You're gonna be better for it. Wow, that actually scared me. I did not know what was going on. So that is about the right shape for a spear. A cup of tea? You can make a cup of tea if you want to. That's fine. You do whatever you need. You know what I'm realizing? I'm realizing I made a big mistake. Made a huge mistake. Let's make a spear. What am I doing? I'm trying to make this weird shape. This is a spear. That's what a spear looks like. Yep. That is much better. And now we'll grab the bottom of it and we'll scooch it down and we'll repeat the same step we just did. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna poke it 20 times. Okay. I need to get back into OS. My clicking skills have been off lately. I've been kind of misclicking randomly so much. 0.05. Proportion, and that is a spear. Look at her. If I go 0.02. Oh, no, not you. Oh, darn it. 0.02. And then proportion. Oh, I messed it up. We're going to say 0.6. That was what we were looking at. And now the top of this guy also needs to come down just a little bit. Actually, he only really needs to come in on these sides. Just like that. And we'll put on a little bit of proportion. And we'll lower that to right about there. That's a spear. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that spear looks. A shovel. I'm getting roasted. Calling my spear a shovel? How dare you? Now I got teacup shovels in my head. Teacup shovels. What does that mean? That's like a spoon that you stir your tea with. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think we're good enough to pop this onto a merge at center. And given that, I think I can go ahead and pop this down. There we go. Let's go ahead and put that up just a little bit. This is a weird angle. I'm struggling with this angle. Let's go -0.2. The thing is, you're not even going to see the end of this spear, so it doesn't super matter what I'm doing here, but I just need it to look right. So a spoon? No, Simo, how dare you? It's like a little, like, decorative... I mean, it's a decorative spoon. If I dissolve that, that's it. Okay, so that's... It's not great. It needs a little bit of work, but that's a spearhead. I can live with this. Simo, what have you been working on? Where are you at right now? We can remove that, and we can pop this down, and that is a spear. It's a cup, but it looks like the cup ate it. No, a shovel. Wait. Okay, CQDK. I think you're getting back into, weird level. Let's keep it super simple. If I shade that smooth. Okay, now we're gonna put on our subsurface and we're gonna say, does this work? I mean, that looks like a pretty good spear, but we're gonna push it a little bit further. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the top of this, and we're gonna get going. Quixel Mixer. Isn't Quixel Mixer like Substance Painter? What's the advantage of using Quixel Mixer over Substance? Or I guess a better question is, what is it? What does it do? It's free. Well, that's a good start. Okay, so we can make ourselves pretty sharp just by doing this. And then if I grab just the end of this thing, what is this gonna do? What is this gonna do for us? If I do this, what do I get? What does that do? I mean, it makes a spear. That is a spear. That's a perfect spear. It's got a ridge here in the center. The point could use some work. It has good Megascan integrations, but other than that, the substance is probably better. How much is substance? I've kind of been thinking about switching over to substance for my material stuff. If it's like not the worst thing in the world, I think I might just start using substance. That might be a little goal for me. Maybe that'll be like a stretch goal. Like, I've been thinking, okay, so spoilers. I've been thinking a lot about content creation lately. I think I'm gonna start taking YouTube a lot more seriously soon. We'll get there. And a big part of that for me is setting up goals and thinking about like what would be interesting to learn and stuff like that. You're gonna make a dog? Okay. You do whatever you need. I just, you know, I would argue don't do any like back things or anything like that. Cool. That's a spear. Oh gosh, that's a not good looking spear. That's a slightly better looking spear. Substance is owned by Adobe? Awful. 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 What is wrong with Adobe? Isn't Adobe owned by Microsoft? Don't they have some like weird mixed business plan or something between the two of them? They have something. They have like a weird exclusivity. Oh, I guess that doesn't make sense because it's on Apple. But they have like a weird... They like belong to an investment firm or something together. Because Bill Gates and the CEO of Adobe have like done press conferences together and stuff. It's $100 a year? That's not bad. That's not that bad. Do I want to spend that money? No. But it's not that bad. That's less than Adobe Creative Cloud, which in my mind would be a lot less like usable for me. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a little bit. Maybe I'll get into substance. $100 really ain't that big of a deal to drop, especially if I'm gonna make videos on it. We'll get there. In the meantime, I got a spear. There's a very specific reason I made a spear. Not sure what the state of perpetual license is right now after the Adobe purchase. Yeah, I wouldn't do that anyway. You don't know how to make good eyes. Eyes are tough. The best way I can think to make eyes is to like really have high contrast between the white and the hello, my brain has stopped working. You gotta have high contrast between the white and the iris. As long as you keep that intact and pretty circular, I think you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff. I don't think you need to worry too much. I'm gonna go ahead and point this to that. And we're gonna lighten this up. Eyes are definitely one of those things that it's very easy just to get like very weird with. Like it's very easy just to like kind of lose yourself into eyes. So I get like not wanting to just go nuts. Honestly, I think I might just do base. Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in doing this. I don't love how reflective that bottom is. Quixel is owned by Epic, and that is the reason it's free? It's owned by Epic. That's pretty weird. Okay, so I guess the question remains, do you get any advantage in Unreal for making textures in Quixel? Like, do they port over better? Do they integrate better? Do you have more control over them? Is there any advantage to Quixel over like anything else when it comes to specifically the Unreal Engine? Okay, so I want to just get this black in here. I'm trying to make a little bit of a black, like, deep root so you can see it. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. Doesn't really want to hold its own. There we go. That's it. Perfect. So now I'm going to take this black and we're going to go ahead and make it this color and make it way darker. Boom. That's a wooden spear. Okay, cool. So spear is done. Ready to go. Not sure. Maybe we'll do a little Quixel stream. Maybe I'll try and learn Quixel over the weekend, and that'll be a focus from now on. I feel pretty comfortable. As you can see, I feel pretty comfortable making textures in Blender. So if I can get better at that than this, we're in business. Okay, we'll call that it, and we'll get going. So we got a spear. We're compiling shaders here, which is very normal for us at this point. This is my new workflow, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do the crux of this whole build. This was kind of the thing that I was supposed to do yesterday, but we're going pretty fast today, so got no problem doing it today. I'm going to make vines. At least you can use Quixel Megascans for free in your games, and the mixer, so it's a pretty big plus. I'm kind of I'm like really thinking about how I make games in general. The short, very silly answer is I'm not really like good at it, which is obvious, and I'm not offended by that at all. I don't think of that as being like offensive, but I think currently the way I make games is so by scratch that the idea of like megascans and stuff, I don't know if that's like super in my mind. If that's super like what I'm trying to do. Also, can we add modifiers to paths? Can I shrink wrap this to spear staff? We're gonna call you spear blade or spear head. Can I shrink wrap you to the staff? You can. You can! Yo! You can always use them as a base and stylize them in the mixer. That's true. Very interesting thoughts. Very interesting thoughts. A lot to process. Okay, so we're gonna want... Nearest vertex is interesting, but I think we want to try our best to make this not so obvious. So let's go ahead and can I edit curves? We've done this before in the past, and I've had trouble editing curves. Is this going to be such a bad decision? How do I edit curves? How are you supposed to edit curves? Can I use my own dog to help me draw? Yeah, of course. Absolutely, 100%. I would never take that away from you. All right, I don't understand how curves work. You just move the points in edit mode? Yeah, but what if I want more points? Extrude? Okay. Got it. Extruding is... Okay, so I've tried... I've tried extruding, and I've tried subdividing. Neither of those have done anything. You know what? You know what? I'm just going to do this manually. I'm going to do this manually. Is this going to be a big mistake? Yeah, probably. This is probably going to be the worst thing ever. But, you know what? Too bad. So, I'm going to go ahead and make myself a cube. This is going to be so ugly. I know this is the least efficient way that I could do this. I'm sure I could learn how to do it. Too bad. That's what I'm doing. So, I'm going to pop this guy down here. I tried extruding, and I didn't get anything. Here, check it out. Okay, so I am in edit. I highlight it. Oh, no, sorry. Let's click the curve. Let's go to edit mode. So I got a curve, right? Extrude. What's this? Let's turn off the shrink wrap. The heck is this? Select only 1 point? I thought I only selected 1 point. Yeah, I only selected 1 point. That is 1 point. Is it the bottom one? It just doesn't make any sense. It just, like, goes nuts. You adjust the handles? Like, I get that, but, like, why is it the worst process ever? Why doesn't it extrude straight out? Yeah, I just don't get curves. Curves are too weird for me. Let's use a little bit of this. Sir, please. I'm gonna need... Whoa! Death King. Hola, amigo. Esto donech. ¿Cómo estás? I've no clue. I understand ¿Cómo estás? Everything else, kind of a no. Like the vectors in Inkscape. I get that. How do I click them? Oh, there we go. Aha! They count as vertexes. Understood. Oh, this is much better. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I was being dumb. I know. What am I not? So if I grab U2 and I... Oh, my... Aha! My shortcuts are messed up. No wonder it wasn't working. I don't have my normal shortcuts. I understand. It was fun to see how much your brain lagged. Hey, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? I understand. I get it. Okay, we're in. We're in business. How are you doing, Death King? Okay. Yes. I can live with this. This is actually usable. All right. Simo, thank you. I feel like every time you teach me something new, I'm always on the defensive. Just takes me a while, you know? You can't teach an old dog new tricks very fast. I'm fine. How are you? I'm all right. It's been a wild one. I'll say that at the very least. Happy to be making some stuff. Happy to be on stream. Always a good way to decompress for me. I know a lot of people think of streaming as being like high pressure. I don't think I really feel that way. I don't think I'm one of those people. So if I move this up, oh yes, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna pop this down here, and you can be here. Okay. So realistically, I should be able to come in here, go to geometry, and make this 0.1. Wow. 0.1's that big? There we go. Cool. I love that summer's here, but it's so humid. Yeah, it's kind of killer here in Florida. I'll put it that way. Wow. That is useless. What? You know what? I think we're gonna call it on the shrink wrap. Instead, I'm just gonna do my best to get everything as tightly knit as possible. In fact, let's go top down. Let's grab everything and let's shrink it down. No. Grab everything. Let's grab all of it, shrink it down. We want to keep it super contained and focused right around there. Yeah, this can work. Let's go ahead and dissolve. Yeah. Okay, dissolving works too. Good to know. Wow. This is crazy. This is actually nuts. We grab just a couple of you and we really twist you around, get you close, get you feeling it. What's the temperature like for everybody right now? What kind of a temperatures are we experiencing? Last week we were getting like, I want to say it was like 80s, maybe 90s. It was pretty hot. It was like Florida hot, the usual terrible Florida hot. And then all of a sudden, it's fine. All of a sudden, it's not bad. All of a sudden, it feels almost like winter again. It's like, what's going on? What the heck is happening? I pop this around just a little bit more like that. We should be looking pretty good. Now, does that look like a vine? No. No, it doesn't. But it's cool. It's sort of getting its job done. We just need to keep kind of doing little macro edits to this guy. These guys need to be subdivided, and that subdivision needs to be pushed around. There we go. And I think we are just about here. Is that a convincing vine? That doesn't look like a very convincing vine to me. Is there a better way that I should be making vines? We had around 23 Celsius on the weekend, which is pretty high for this early in the summer. 23 Celsius, what is that, like 70? 70 degrees? Fahrenheit, I should say. Bad, you know, English measurements. It's such a shame to see 73 in silly units. Dude, you got to give me credit. I was pretty close. You have got to give me credit for that one. I might be forced to use silly units, but I can calculate. When I can help it, I try to put my car into like kilometers and stuff like that. But you do a little bit too much of that, and you're gonna have problems with law enforcement. So to some degree, as much as you want to be enlightened and do things correctly and think about things the way that they're supposed to be thought about, you just don't have the opportunity. 100 Fahrenheit is close to the body temperature? Yeah. Apparently, it's been changing genetically, which is strange. Apparently, it's like slightly off from what it's supposed to be. I actually don't think this is the worst looking vine I've ever seen. I actually don't think this is super terrible. If I go like this and I grab you and pull you back, I don't think this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Can I extrude? You can. Why is it joined twice? I want to delete. How am I gonna fix this? How am I gonna fix this? Delete segment. Hey, there we go. Oh, look at it. Oh yeah, we're in business. We're in business. Okay, we're here. Cool. We've got it. I know what I'm up to now. We are in business. I don't love the infinities that it keeps trying to make, but I really can't complain too much. If you Alt-S on a point, you can adjust the thickness of an individual point. Thank you, Simo. Very good to know. So let's go ahead and grab this guy and bring that down and out just a little bit. I think we might just want to solve this problem completely like that. It's just a little too dramatic for no reason. Good for making hair clumps and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn the curve process. This is good. Feels kind of weird. This feels like a weird way of drawing. You mean the curves or your dog? Because what I'm doing right now is super weird for me. This feels like so wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna grab both of these, delete segment, grab you. The double grab is probably my least favorite part of this whole process. Real stuff? Yeah, I mean, realism's hard. This is why so many people stay away from it. If you can learn to draw it, that's like, you know, you're on a different level than most other people. Especially if you have style. If you can do realism with style, you're miles ahead of literally everyone. And you got style. Style's definitely like your thing. I think that stylization is harder. I agree with you. I think stylization is probably one of the hardest things you can do. I am just barely tapping into like stylizing my stuff at this point. I've gone so long just making like whatever I make, and I'm just now starting to think about like, what do I want it to actually look like? Stylization sucks, but what I'm saying is if you can do stylization with realism, you're crazy. You're in a different world. Okay, so we're gonna do this down and out. Yeah, and you got to be even further down. We're going to get you real down. You start trying to imitate the world, and then you just start to abstract things, basically. Isn't all stylization from the real world? I would not agree with that. I mean, okay, I mean, let's be real. Everything, at the end of the day, everything is from the real world, quote unquote. It's all from the real world somewhere. Why won't these subdivide? I can't subdivide these? That's weird. Can subdivide these. Okay, we'll start here. I mean, okay, so everything is from the real world at the end of the day, but I would argue that, like, stylization can be super not real. It can be super, like, out of this world. Whether that counts as being part of the real world or not, I don't know. That's a different conversation, I think. You need to first understand how to draw it realistic before you can truly understand how to stylize things. I don't agree with that either. I think I, like, very much don't agree with that. I think there's a lot of people who begin their career, like, making things very bizarre. I'll say that having an understanding of, you know, geometry and whatever is good for your drawings, and you should have, like, an idea of what realism looks like. For sure, it'll make you a better artist. But I think there's a lot of really good artists who, like, have actively denied making things look real. And are sort of famous for it. I think once you get to, like, you know, classical painter level, yeah, you basically have to know, like, just about everything there is to know about making art. But, you know, on a more local level, I think there's a lot of artists who get away with not having to think that much about those things. Okay, is this just the weirdest, worst thing I've ever made? I don't know. I'm having a hard time really wrapping my brain around this one. I think I've just made something a little bizarre. I'm going to do, like, 0.007. I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call it right here. It's just a little bit weird, but I think it'll do. And we're going to add leaves and stuff to this. So let's call it here. I could spend an eternity working on this. And I'd just rather fail and learn than sit here and just keep doing this. Resolution's going to be kind of critical for us. Resolution's going to be very critical for us. Let's start with 6. That should be just fine. Anything more than that's probably overkill. Actually, I liked 8 a lot. 8 feels great. So we'll do that. You have to follow the fur when I draw. You got it. CQDK, you got it. Let's go ahead and cap our points like that. Oh wait, no, I don't want to fill caps. Very specific, I don't want to fill caps. And we're gonna go ahead and grab this guy and convert it into a mesh. Here we go. Actually, wait, hold on. Can you make it... Can I make it spikes on the end? Can I spike the end of these things? Just scale them down? Whoa. Whoa. I know that's not what you meant. I was just playing. Yeah, the Alt S. Okay. So if I go 0, I can live with this. Yeah, this works. This works a lot. Cool. So we're gonna just bind all of these guys together, and then I'm gonna convert to a mesh. Actually, there's probably not even a reason to convert to mesh if this looks like this. I think we could just call it here. Now that feels perfect. That feels so good. Yo. Yeah, nope, that's it. We're here. Simo, I don't know what I would do without you. Holy cow. Really cool stuff right there. Okay, so let's go ahead into our nodes. Let's make this look like an actual vine. Oh, curves are so annoying. Curves are so annoying. Okay, so we want... Oh gosh, we want to... I don't have to convert it, do I? I think I do have to convert it. It doesn't want to take the vine material. You have to convert it to Geo when exporting to Unreal, though. Well, it might be time to convert it right now, then. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna copy, paste. We're gonna call you Vine Backup, because I'm thinking. We're gonna call you Vine. I'm gonna put this whole thing together, and I'm gonna call this Spear. You just did something weird? What did I do weird? I just copied it. What was weird about that? You can use materials without converting, though. Yeah, I read that. How's it weird that I made a backup? That's not weird. I'm not seeing any way that you would add material to this. Oh, it's weird that I can't put the material? Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's fine, though. I'm going to convert it. I have a backup. I have to convert it anyway. It doesn't matter. I have the subsurface color turned to green. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. You know what? We didn't have to go there. We didn't have to see that. You didn't have to see me at my darkest possible moment. I understand. I completely misunderstood what you were saying, Simo. I did not know what you were talking about. I am going to convert this to a mesh. Because there's a couple of vertices that I want to fix, like this one. Everything else looks just about good enough for me, I believe. Cool. So let's, this guy's in a deep, dark cave. He does not have this much chlorophyll. So we're going to go ahead and tone him down a little bit. In fact, oh, by the way, I'm using HSL now. Simo, I don't know if you have any opinions about HSL. If you do, please let me know. You seem like somebody who would have opinions about this. Because it's a weird one for sure. Let's go like... Actually, no, I think I want to do this, and I want to go like 0.55. Okay, so we got ourselves a nice bright green. Bring it down to the yellows a little bit more, and let's go ahead and add some texture. HSL versus HSV, yes. What's your opinions on that? What do we got going on about HSL versus HSV? Because my opinion, I got a very light, basic opinion of it. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on. I have no real opinion. They are just colors. Wow, that's surprising. I would have never expected that from you, Simo. Okay, so we're gonna do some Y stuff, get these little lines going on here, and I'm gonna distort the heck out of this guy. And we're gonna use a ton of roughness, a ton of detail. And I wanna make this thing like as soft as I can get it, which isn't really working. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So here's a moment where I think I can learn something. This is what I would do normally. This is what I would make it look like normally. But if we want to stylize, you gotta style. We gotta be stylized. We gotta make things look cooler. So here's how I would stylize it. If I'm really thinking outside the box and I'm really trying to push myself to be a better artist, I would grab something more along the lines of this. Beryl! Hello, it's been a while, Beryl. Beryl, how have you been? How's your VR chat avatar coming along? I feel like you were putting like every hour of every day into it for a while. I'm gonna put on like a linear light. What? What the heck? Okay, let's up this distance just a little bit. Why does it look like this? Let's add a little bit of distortion just to get some cool like texture going. You know, I'm okay. I'm okay, Beryl. I had a real tough weekend. But, well, I should say, I had a really tough weekend, and when I started stream, I felt really low energy. I just felt very, like, at the beginning of stream. And I think stream started off a little bit slow. If you go back and check the recording, I think I'm just a little weird. To be expected. But now that I've been talking for a little bit and I've been making some stuff and all of that, I think I'm feeling all right. I think I feel pretty good. Can't complain too much. I was dealing with my developing alcoholism. I am past the worst withdrawal and feeling fresh. That's excellent. That's so good to hear. CQDK has been here the whole time too. CQDK has been real nice. You know what? The detail work, I think I want low, and I don't really get why it's... Oh, it's because it's tall. Everybody make sure to take a drink on Amazing Barrel. Barrel's making sure that we're nice and healthy, keeping strong. Let's honor that. Okay, so I want the roughness lower to make a little bit more streaky. And now I will overlay, and overlay is the wrong thing. I want to... I want to multiply. I think that's it. I think that's gotta be it. That looks pretty good. You forgot your water? Go get more water. What's wrong with that? What happened to your water? So, Beryl, what have you been spending most of your time doing? What's been the main focus for you? You can take a second break to, you know, make your doggo to go get water. Should be nice and easy for you. Look at that! Yo! Yo, it looks so good! This is one of the best things I think I've made in like a little while. I take that back. The sword that I made on my art station, I'm very proud of, and I made it in such a short amount of time. But as far as like learning new stuff and pushing myself in new directions, this feels really good. I don't know how to make lighting. Man. I don't think I have good advice for you. I don't think I have much advice for you. I'm not very good at lighting myself. Okay, let's go to this view real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and just push this guy over, push him down into the ground. I've been very busy studying exams next week. I need to graduate. When's the graduation? There we go. You know what? I want it closer to the front of the scene, so we're gonna push it up here. Make sure we get both of these little roots showing. Now, realistically, I should probably put like a little dirt patch, but I'm not going to. This looks so good. So if I'm looking at this from the camera, we put on the darkness. That feels so good. That feels so expert. Math check, English, Spanish. What the heck? It's all language. Beryl, you're not studying linguistics, were you? Were you the linguistics guy? I was under the impression that Paul 3D was, you are, okay. Man, what was Paul studying? Man, linguistics, crazy. I always say that if I went back to college, I would study linguistics. I'm sure I've already said that to you before, but to say it again, I would study linguistics, given the opportunity. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of this. There we go. That should do it. Now we come back. And it should look a little bit more rounded. Yeah, it looks about right. You did? Yeah, memory's not my strongest feature right now. We'll get there. I love that it kind of moves a little bit when it's adjusting. That's cool. Oh, Simo and Beryl. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sure you do. I think everybody knows more about Blender than I do. But if you didn't know, you can add matte caps to your models. So check this out. If I go to matte cap and I switch it over, I can make all sorts of stuff. And it lets you see like all of your little angles, and it renders, you know, full speed. These aren't materials. Yeah, matte caps are awesome. Like, this is the best thing ever. It's so useful. It's so nice to like see geometry reflected and playing off of itself. Especially when it comes to names. Yeah, names are tough. Okay, cool. So we are here. So what next? Let's get rid of the darkness, get rid of the cave. And now we gotta go ahead and just make the simple thing. So, there's an easy way to do this and a bad way to do this. I'm gonna try the easy way first. I just said easy way and bad way. You know what? It's fine. I'm gonna pop on a UV sphere of 24 by 12. We're gonna scooch on down, push on up. Yeah, matte caps are awesome, man. They're just like, it's better for like everything. I've never run into an opportunity right now where having this matte cap has been a detriment for me. I'm sure it'll come up. I'm sure there's like an opportunity or something where it's going to be weird. But like for the time being, it's been really good to me. There we go. Okay, so I've hidden a little ball. Let's go ahead and grab... You know what? No, we're going to leave it just like a ball. It's just going to be a ball. Just like that. If I put the cave back on, this ball needs to touch the ground. Just like that. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, now we can get rid of the cave. And here's what we're going to do. I am going to take this thing and put it onto here. So I'm going to call you Blueberry. I'm already starting to think, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm thinking about nodes and stuff right now. Let's not do that yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First things first, I'm going to project particles onto this thing. I probably want like maybe 7 particles. And I want them to be higher up. And we're going to be emitting a object. Which I think we have to do with hair. Let's do hair. Never mind. We're doing hair. We're going to be doing an object. The object is going to be our blueberry. It actually looks pretty good. The way that it's rendering on there is pretty cool. We're going to make sure that the roots don't do it at all, but otherwise we're looking pretty solid. All right, how many do we have? 7. I'm going to do 15. Let's do 16. 16 is a good number. And we're going to render to scale. Ain't the 30 minutes over for me making this dog? You set the limit, man. You can do whatever you want. I wasn't setting a limit on how long you were making that dog. You can be done all you like. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and weight paint this thing. Weight paint the heck out of it. We're gonna stay away from the stem, like the ends of the stems as much as we can, because we're gonna add leaves to those. I'm not sure if I want to add leaves or something similar to leaves, but we'll get there when we get there. So we're just doing like outside edges for the most part. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Just like this. Keeping it super simple, not worrying too much about geometry and stuff. And I'll do one right there. There we go. That should handle itself pretty well. I think I will say I'm done, so you don't too much time I will put in the Discord and go to bed. Yeah, you need to go to bed. You got school. Appreciate you hanging out, though, of course. Let's see. Density is going to be our weight map. So now we don't have any in the roots. Yes. Perfect. Well, there they are. So, some problems. First and foremost is the size. The size is not very good. So let's grab you and make you much smaller. And next we want to use a different seed. I don't want them to clump up as much as they are. That's actually a cool little clump though. 15? No. Okay, what are we looking at? Why are they clumping up so much? What are you doing? They, like, won't stop clumping up with each other. What the heck is going on, man? Get away from each other. What? This is the worst. They, like, refuse to separate. Okay, that's a little clump right there, but they're not touching, so I'm not against it. Dare I add more? Dare I try and add more? Done now. Good night. Hey, good night, CQDK. Have a good rest of your week. I'll see you when I see you. There we go. We're going to call it right there. That's enough blueberries. Okay, cool. So now we want to node them up. So the blueberries are going to follow a very simple procedure. And by very simple, I mean it's not going to be simple at all. It's going to be very obnoxious and hard for me to do. But that's fine. So we're going to make them super transmissive with like a bluish right there. Roughness can be dropped down quite a bit. Specular to nothing. Sheen down, 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 down. Transmission roughness can come up just a little bit as well. And then it's going to be emissive. So let's look at these guys on the actual vine here. To start with, we can make them like this greenish cyan, and we're going to drop the emission down to like... Actually, that looks perfect. So here's the hassle. Here's the real hassle for me. I want them to blink sort of randomly. How I'm going to do this is going to be a little challenging. So here's what I have in my brain right now. Here's what I think I'm going to do. We're going to make some constants. About here. I'll listen in while I play some games. I try to do something productive tomorrow. Hey, no worries at all. By the way, how is your VR chat model? How's it going? I haven't seen you post anything about it in a little bit. Is it done? Are you taking a little backseat on it? What are you feeling? Okay, so that's a good color. We like that color. I'm now going to grab... That's a good blue. We'll do that blue. Next up, we want... That is such a good looking color. Actually, you know what? We're replacing this one with that one. Next up, we want... What do we want? What do we want? What are we feeling? You know what? I'll use that color. Last but not least... The UV maps are halfway, but it's a pain. I'm not too great at 2D. Yeah, 2D's tough. Have you tried doing any procedural stuff in Blender to, like, you know, just make segments of UVs and then just cut and paste them in your 2D editor? In my experience, that's how I like to do it. Of course, there's times where you have to sit and edit things, but I try to stay away from it as much as possible. We'll call that it. That is our array. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get them doing weird... Oh, okay. I know how to do it. We're going to add a wave texture. This is going to be a little nutty. I apologize for everything that you're about to see. It's going to be sort of the worst thing you've ever seen. Let's put in... let's put in texture coordinates. And I'm going to put in a mapping node. I probably should have just done the shortcut. Oh well. But I want to make them huge. Like really, really big. Oh, I see. And they're all connecting to each other. Oh, gosh. The texture paint is not cooperating with me. It only works from the inside of the model. You might have your normals backwards then, is what it sounds like. Oh gosh, how am I going to fix this? So I've made a real mess. Part of me wants to just render out the particles as objects. But I think that's a little cheap. You know what? I'm going to start with just one. We're going to start with just one of these guys to start with. And we'll just take it from here. So that's the look. That's what I'm going for. Right, so they're going to do that. And I'm going to want this to be even smaller. And we're going to take these guys and make them E's. So let's go to this view. Perfect. Okay, so let me show you what I got right now, and then I'll show you what I'm going for. We're going to say main, put this guy up, go to 0, apply the key, and then we're going to go to 60. And I'm going to offset it until it's exactly where we started. So 12.5 should be about right. So that's kind of the idea. Might be a little fast, honestly. Let's do 6.25. Still a little fast for some reason, but it's not terrible. Most likely, perhaps the plane was upside down when doing the retopo. Yep, that should do it for sure. So, here's my problem. I like this. I want them to be a little randomized. Did that work, Beryl? Yeah, I want these to randomize a little bit more. Oh, I have an update for you guys, by the way. Beryl, while I got you on the line, let me show you something. I made something that I think you'll be very interested in. Let me go ahead and plug this in real quick as dark cave. I mean, it looks really good. This looks so good. It's just, it needs a little bit of love. Okay, so here's what I got. I made this the other day, and by the other day, I mean yesterday. I made this guy, and I think I want to try and export him as a VR chat avatar. I still need to do the face. It's going to be like a Game Boy where he's going to do like ASCII emoticons and stuff like that. Try using object coordinate Z to multiply the hue so the pearls are unique. Simo. This is why I pay you the big bucks. So this is my little guy. I think I want him to be my little avatar in VR chat. He's got a little like halo that reminds me a lot of Evangelion. Spoilers. I'm not going to say what that is, but spoilers. He's just a little dude. A little Game Boy boy. That's super adorable. Thank you, Joe. I was inspired by Takeshi Murakami. I had a lot of like internal influence about how to feel about this. All sorts of stuff. So this is him. Anyway, back to the project. Okay, so you want me to use object coordinate Z. I can live with that. I can very much live with that. So we're gonna have to change our mapping in just a little bit here. Object. Object coordinate Z. Where do I find that? Geometry. Nope. Object coordinate Z. I've seen you. Where are you? Object info. Nope. It's in texture? What do you mean I deleted it? I mean, I got the object, right? But if I multiply Z... Yeah, but it's only quantifying this one and giving it to all the other pearls. I'll try it. We'll give it a shot. Let's separate XYZ, and let's plug in just the Z. Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah, it's only affecting one, so I'd have to actually input a separate Z. The exporting process is something I've yet to figure out. Unity has not been cooperative when trying it out when I try to do stuff without looking deeper into the how-tos. I mean, you're basically instancing your avatar as a scene in Unity, and you have to add their SDK to it. They have like a little like toolkit, and you add it, and then you just put all the pieces in the right place, and you're done. And you have to have an armature, to the best of my understanding. I don't think you can do it without an armature. I want Z coordinates. Like actual Z height. Hey, Streamlabs with the suggestion for today's poll. We got 45 minutes until we go for that poll, which I think is going to be timed perfectly. I'm going to be pretty close. So far, we got a waffle cone. You know what? Okay, no, I'm giving everyone a directive. Before you spend your points, hold on. Cool your horses. Also, I just lost a bunch of frames. Hello? Am I getting a little stuttery for you guys? I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna make this look like a first-person shooter. Just the image, not the actual, like, gameplay. I think I had technical problems on my side, to be honest. Sorry about that. Object info, perfect. That's what I wanted. So, I'm gonna make this look like a first-person shooter, and I want the character of this shot to be carrying something. In my mind, they're gonna be carrying a torch, and I was gonna light up the scene with a torch, but I could have them carrying the waffle cone, because Joe already recommended that I make a waffle cone. So if you want to contribute to a held object in a first-person shooter, let's make that the goal for the speed sketch today. I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be a really nice way to do this. Okay, object info. Location. No, it's only affecting the one. Like, that one is just distributing all of its material information to everything else. So I think I'd have to render these out separately. Which is kind of a real shame. Oh. I messed this up a lot. I messed this up real bad. Hold on. What do I want? I want to remove... How do I do this? Hello? Graph editor. How do I fix this? Drivers. Nope. So it's definitely in the timeline, and I want... Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I've messed it up. Oh, I've really messed it up. Don't plug it like that. Okay, why not? Also, I realized I made a huge mistake on making the keyframes for this thing, so I gotta fix that. I don't know how to fix keyframes on materials, though. I guess maybe you have to have a timeline here. Let's do that real quick. How do you want me to separate it? Or how do you want me to plug it in? Let's do a horizontal split like that, and I'm gonna make you a timeline. And we are here. There we go. There we go, perfect. Okay, so I can come in here and I can do 6.25. And we can replace that keyframe, and now it should be nice and perfect. Cool. Check Discord. Okay, hold on. I think I'm just gonna let this happen. Oh, hey. The Witcher 3 is on sale. It's always on sale, but The Witcher 3 is officially on sale for anybody who might be interested. Alright, let's see what we're up to. Simo gave me a little array real quick. You want me to go object info hue color. It's not really what my setup looks like. See, well, that's not even possible with my current setup. That's not how this works. I have to have this phase offset. I can't do it without phase. Like, it's good if it were rotating, right? Like, if I plug this... Plug in the color slot of the hue. Simo, I don't think you're really listening to what I'm saying. Like, okay, we got this plugged in. First off, I don't have hue. That's not a thing. That's not a part of this whole setup here. Also, I'm gonna merge these guys here. Yeah, but I'm using only these colors, bud. I can't just use like a color node. It doesn't work that way. I can't do this. Because I'm not making a rainbow. It has to be these colors. Can you do this? Can I go like that? Wait, hold on. Maybe I can plug it in like this? No. Okay, so I can do that, and then we can do this. No. If we remove you so that they don't share mapping. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. All right, you know what? We're calling it. We're calling it right here. I'm good for right now. We're just going to call it right there. I'm done thinking about these. I'm going to render them out as a texture anyway later, and I'm going to have to export them as a material. So it's going to be a whole process to get them to work. This isn't really going to translate anyway. So let's leave it like this for now. Last but not least, I want to make eyes. I just hate how clumped up they are, but that's fine. We'll leave it like that. And we got our cave, and we got the darkness. That's not terrible. I'll probably place like a backpack or something right here, but otherwise we're looking good. I'll say that's good. Okay, that's it. That's gonna be our setup. So let's make some eyes. I can get rid of all of you, get rid of all of you. Get rid of that, and let's make some eyes. So, when I think of scary eyes looking at you inside of an abyss, I instantly think of like a dragon. I kind of think we're gonna want to make a very specific shape. Let me make like let's make a UV sphere. And we're going to rotate this guy by 90. And we're going to flatten him quite a bit. And that should be pretty decent to start with. Let's get him going. So I'm going to want to put on a little sharp. So we're going to try and make like wingtips, I think. So we're gonna do it like that. We're gonna do it like this. Now I'm going to take it all down, but we're gonna want to curve it like that. There we go. I mean, that already looks like a pretty good eye. Pop this guy down a little bit and get him feeling a little bit mean. I think that's pretty solid. Let's take a look at that in our node. So if I switch to this, we shade it smooth. And we give it a little bit of an emissive yellow. This is the big thing about HSL I gotta get used to. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty good. I gotta fix those little guys right there. But otherwise, that looks pretty good. This thing's looking at you in the middle of the dark? Yeah, I'd be kind of freaking out a little bit. Let's go ahead and fix up the geometry a little bit. I don't know what happened to our geometry. It just decided to be weird for some reason. So we'll grab you two and merge at center. That one's fine. I think we want to try and auto smooth this thing a little bit. And let's get going. Sort of want to just go ahead and remove that. Nope, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. How we missed... What happened here? Why is there a missing vertice? There's not one inside of you, is there? Where did that one go? Or was that the pole? No, it's not the pole. The pole's right there. Strange. I'm not sure where that guy went to. There's supposed to be a connector between the two of those. But this should do. Once we render that out, could use a little bit of love. I'd hate to put on a subdivision, but I think it might be in our best interest. Hello? Chill? Okay, tell you what. We're going to pop on the last little bit of this end, like this. And I gotta say, that is a dragon's eye. That looks like a dragon's eye. Barrel! Hey, perfect. So it worked. That's what you like to see. We can basically get rid of all of the geometry on the back face. It doesn't matter. We don't need to render it. I'll leave that one just so we can have a little lemon to look at. I don't know if I want to do anything else to this. I think it looks pretty good as is. The nerd in me really wants to try and do something else to it. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Simo just sent a message on Discord, or did Beryl post your... Yeah, it was Simo. Let's see. What do you got, Simo? Yeah, I don't know how you got it working. You put a color ramp between that. Oh, you plugged... Oh, okay. Right into value. You skipped the mapping node. Sima. I knew that once I was like, we're going to move on, I knew that you were stuck on it. Which is admirable. It's a very admirable trait about you. Well, we'll come back to it. I'll make a little bit of time for it just for you. Okay, so if I do this, here's like the absolute nerd in me trying my best to make like scary dragon face work. Oh! Oh! It looks so good! Yo, that looks so good. That's a dragon's eye. There it is. Cool. Let's go ahead and go into edit mode, grab everything, move it to the side like that. Oh, it's so good looking. Cool. And now I'm going to go ahead and pop on a mirror. And all we need to do is just grab him and move him to the position we like. That looks about right to me. And now let's make some pupils for him. So I'm going to go ahead and pop on... The cube makes the most sense. The cube makes the most sense to me. So if I go into edit, grab all of it, pop them on over. Do a little bit of a rotate, and that might just be it. We got ourselves a little dragon eye. Bada boom. Oh, he looks too nice. He looks way too nice. Let's go ahead and put on a mirror. Yeah, he looks way too nice. So we're going to want this thing to be probably a bit spikier, I'm thinking. So I will do that by doing a cut, and then grabbing that cut and doing this. And I'm going to grab you guys and scooch you sideways just a little bit. Grab the whole thing, make it smaller, and rotate it into place and say, does that work? I don't know if this works. If I grab this and no, that won't work either. This is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a little hard cookie to crack. That might do it. We take that and we shrink him down. Does that look right? That looks so weird. These look like bad eyes. I'm having a hard time thinking about dragon's eyes. Would it be better if they were just like little tiny circles? Would it be better? If I hide these, not those. If I add just a UV sphere to this guy, switch it over to edit. Let's go ahead and rotate him by 90 degrees. Is this scarier looking? That does look a little bit more intimidating, I think. You know what? That'll do it. We're going to do it just like that. This is going to be our guy. And I'm going to go ahead and pop on just a black material for this with full roughness, no specular. We're going to leave it as like bare bones as we can get it. And I think we're good to go. So let's pop in the cave, the darkness. We're going to call these eyes outer, eyes inner. Let's grab both of them. Put them into place and we should be good to go. I think I got to work on my lighting just a little bit, but otherwise we're probably good to go. And I'll go do CMOS fix on our guys. What are those, fish? These are eyes. They do kind of look like fish that are trying to kiss each other. They're little eyeballs. I'm gonna put the emission strength way up, and I can always make them whatever color I want. Red might be it. This might be it. I don't know, I was just feeling weird. I was feeling froggy with it. So if we look at this whole scene, let's go back to camera mode. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like on 12 passes. Okay, those are definitely too bright. Actually, you know what? I don't think they're too bright. I think this is not dark enough. Let's really up that darkening effect, and let's grab these eyes. Let's pop them down just a little bit. Let's say, how does this look? You can see the darkness is creeping in. It's doing its pretty good job. This scene might be like way too dark. It's looking very dark on that monitor. It looks pretty all right on this monitor. I think what we're gonna want to do, I'm gonna want to do one thing real quick. we're going to want to add a little bit of a spotlight on this thing. I normally don't do lighting like this. I don't like doing lighting like this. But we'll make a little exception today. I'm going to add a spotlight. It's going to be 90, and it's going to be -20. -30. Yep, it's going to be pointing right at where the camera is pointing, so it should look like it's coming from us to some degree. Now, the lighting itself is going to be super important. So, we're going to want maybe like 100. Maybe like 350. And I'm going to want to cast it in a sort of appropriate looking light. Thinking of blue is probably our best color. So if I go to this and we just check our render. Yeah, those eyes do look kind of goofy, don't they? That's a big darn. I wanted them to look pretty intimidating, but I guess I just made them look kind of silly. I'd really hate to do this, but as just a thought, how scary does this look? If we just do just 2 eyes, looks so much scarier. Looks so much scarier. Wow, that is kind of horrifying. I think that's got to be what it looks like. I got 20 minutes. Let's do CMOS fix real quick, and then I'm going to think about those eyes. All right, CMO. You want me to do cave, darkness, eyes. You want me to grab this bad boy. And what you had set up was index to color ramp. Location to this, you to there, or did you have it to scale? You might have had it to scale. I think you had it to scale. Let's double check. You had it plugged up to vector, vector to color, color to color ramp to base color. So I'm not using base color, but everything else is set up exact. I don't know why I'm getting different results than you. I have no clue why I'm not getting the results that you're getting. Let me try plugging it to base color instead, and we'll see how that turns itself. CMO, I'm not getting what you're getting. Everything is exact. I'm going to double check one more time. We got object location into a color ramp, into a wave texture vector, into factor, color out. Looks exact to me. Looks quite perfect. What do you mean, CMO? No! All that just to say that I was right? How dare you? All that struggle. How dare you? All of that. What a struggle that was. Well, you know what? Can you use geonodes on like pre-existing objects like this? Because if you want, I'll use geonodes. This is fine with me. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna call this lit blueberries. All right, how do I do it? Let's do some geonodes real quick. Why not? I'm cool with this. So I'm gonna grab my blueberry. We're gonna make a copy. I'm gonna pop you up there. I'm gonna call you Geo Blueberry. Gonna get rid of our OG. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit up the geonodes. Okay, so we got ourselves object info. The object is going to be our vine. We're gonna say geometry transform. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see, point distributes. Okay, I've been sent a picture. I've been sent a picture by Simo. Point distribute into attribute randomize. Okay. Let's do this thing. Thank you so much, Simo. You're a bit of a sass master today, but you've been vital. You've been absolutely helping beyond belief. Okay, so we're gonna put that in point distribute. I'm just gonna make the nodes first. So attribute randomize. Let's do, where is it? Attribute randomize. Point instance. This is a very complicated group of boys. Okay, so geometry to geometry, geometry to geometry. And you joined the geometry together. So I will do a join. We plug that into join, that down there, and that into this. The attribute randomize just randomizes the scale, so it isn't essential. You know what? We'll do it anyway. Why not? Okay, so you got your min set to 0.29. I'm going to set the min to 0.6. Okay, so what are we looking at? You want 0.340. Select the Perl on the object for the point instance. What? Also, the geonodes should be on the vine. Aha! Okay. Got it. We're going to take this, copy you. Oh, I hate copying nodes in Blender is always the worst. They just don't want to paste. There we go. Get rid of all of you. Post you over here. Barrel's out here with a fish. What is that fish holding? It looks like a Slurpee. Okay, so select the Perl on the object. Your blueberry. That's a big boy. Density you had set to 36.9. This is looking a little nuts. It's a bubble tea. We made a bubble tea very recently. Apply scale on the blueberry. That's probably a good idea. There we go. Okay. I think we're done. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to hide that particle system and only show this particle system. And it looks pretty good. I wish I could stop it from being down at the bottom. I'm sure there's a way to do that. I just don't know how. Let's see. Point distribute. Can I make more? Type scale on the attribute randomize node. Scale. Okay. Or all lowercase. Scale. Honestly, I don't hate this. Having pockets of drinks inside your drink, like, I love that. I do love me a boba. Control the density and distance to make more berries. Aha. Aha. Density distance makes more berries. This I can live with. Distance is how far apart everything is. Yep, I got that far. So let's say 0.12 is probably exactly what we want. Density is going to be... Density's perfect. Okay, we'll call it right there. That's going to be about as good as I can get it. I would like for these bottom ones not to be there, but I can live with it. Cool. So now I go to blueberry in my shader editor. And we say, how do I fix the problem? Color to you, to you, to you, to you. They're still all the same for some reason. So when you applied your material, was your material applied to anything other than the blueberry? Also, we have 10 minutes. If you guys want to see an addition to waffle cone on the speed sketch, please make sure to submit your channel points. Just the berry. I mean, I'm still getting the same problem, dude. This looks weird. They're all the same. There must be something that I'm just like missing fundamentally. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this particle system though. I think we're better off without it. I like this setup a lot more. I actually learned a lot about geonodes in just that short amount of time. Napalm. Oh gosh. Napalm is that's quite an answer. Okay, so let's say that this right now looks to be like our sketch. What is this cube? What is this? Oh, it's the weird eyes. Get rid of those. All right, I'm gonna show you the material node, and then I gotta move on. I can't dwell on this. The material node for the blueberry looks like this. So location to factor, color to vector, color to factor, color to emission. All right, I'm jumping. Let's go ahead and put eyes inner onto here. Napalm is quite easy to make IRL. Barrel? It's a bit of a scary sentence there. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Just as a hunch. Oh, they do look good, though. Yeah, they're even. I don't know why. It's strange. So we're going to take it upon ourselves to just do one thing real quick. I'm going to put these guys a little closer together. And I'm going to add a... it's probably going to be easiest with a cube. I guess I could do it with a plane. We'll do a plane real quick. As fast as we please. That'll do. We'll go ahead and push this up to 90. Push you down. Push you back. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a mouth real quick. In about 8 minutes, I'm gonna make a mouth, and then we're done. We're ready to go. So let's make a mouth. So I'm sure there's a super easy way to do this. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna think about it too hard. Instead, we're gonna go an odd number. We're gonna do 17. Okay. Now, what we want is, I want to cut off all of this. I want to mirror it so that I'm not doing my work twice. Never done it. No use for the volatile substance, but all you need is gasoline and a gelling agent. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would, you know, have very inappropriate uses for stuff like that. So, just kind of scary information to know that it's easy to make. Okay, so we're just making ourselves a little mouth. I think I made it backwards. It's hard to tell. That looks alright. Okay, that'll do. Now I'm going to grab just this end, and we're going to put on a smooth, and I'm going to push him up. That'll do, and then I'm going to shrink this down. That should be all right, and then I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to merge at last. Which means I got to bring this down again. Nope. No proportion on this one. Does that look a little silly? It looks a little silly to me. Can't tell if that looks silly or not. Having a hard time really registering this one. Let's go ahead and take it upon ourselves to paint it real quick. I'm going to give it that red material that we have for the eyes. So confused why the berry thing doesn't work. I mean, I can send you my project file if you want to take a look later. I'm not trying to give you homework, but if you're curious, feel free. I'm going to dissolve that edge just so we're not thinking about it. It should have worked with the particle system. Yeah, it just seemed very weird to me. Now, I really hate to be this guy. Let's apply the mirror real quick, because we're pretty much good to go on this. Hate to be this guy. If I go like this all the way across, and we press E and get that really sharp, that looks infinitely better. That looks infinitely better. That looks so scary. That looks horrifying. Yo. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to call you Mouth. And you know what? I'm going to make a collection for the darkness. So we're gonna pop the eyes into there, and I'm gonna pop the mouth into there. Save. Oh, I should probably also throw the darkness into there. Let's be real. That is horrifying. That is so scary looking. Cool. That's just a thing of nightmares. What a thing of nightmares this is. Well, okay, so I've made an SCP. I suppose it was what I was intending to do, but I didn't expect it to be that scary. Oh, don't make him frown. Oh gosh, the frown. Oh, the frown. Okay, cool. Well, that's awful. What an awful thing I've done. Lag? Wow, we are losing frames. We're losing a lot of frames. What's happening? Is that better? Why do we lose so many frames? I'm gonna have to double check. Oh, I have... No, I uninstalled that. That's weird. Something weird happened to our render. I keep losing frames when I'm switching to that rendered view. Something about emissions, maybe. I'm gonna have to double check that. Anyway, we're gonna take all of this, put it away. All of this should be good. We can get rid of you. I'm honestly pretty good to get rid of you. Honestly pretty good to get rid of you. Cool. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. So anybody who's on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to drop onto the Discord. You know, that's pretty much where we show all of our stuff, where we hang out, all of that. It's been kind of a low energy stream, but sometimes you gotta have a low energy stream. And that's, I'll say peace to that.